What Paul has been arguing from chapter 5 through chapter 6 and culminating in chapter 7 is that there is a real problem, and it's not your moral behavior. The real problem is actually a cosmic problem. And it starts with a guy called Adam. See, God made the first human being, Adam, out of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. And he gave the race of man, and the singular man, Adam particularly, dominion and rule over all he has made. And the first expression of Adam's dominion is his naming of the animals. Adam is given dominion over all of creation. And a wife is made for him to help him in his role. Adam is a composite being. Remember this from last week? Adam is a composite being. He is made from the dust of the ground, but infused with the Spirit of God, with the Ruach Elohim. And so he is part creation, but he's also infused with God's breath. He's a composite being. He's part of this and part of that. Part of the creation, but made in the image and likeness of God. And so Adam and all humanity as a consequence stands between God and the creation. As a member of the created order, Adam represents all of creation before God. It's part of what it means to be made in the image. He represents all of creation before God. That means that he is responsible for it. He makes decisions on behalf of all of creation. He is responsible for all of creation in the way he lives, the way he represents it to God. And he represents God to that creation because he's made in the image and likeness of God to reflect the character and nature of God to all of humanity and to creation itself from which he has come. And so Adam stands between God to represent God to the creation, but he stands between the creation to God because he is to represent creation to God. And so he is responsible for all of creation. He is responsible for it. He makes decisions on behalf of the creation, and his decisions stick. But Adam fails in his role of representing God to the creation. Instead, he sets himself up as an idol to be worshipped. Again, Genesis chapter 3, the temptation of Adam and Eve, or more particularly Eve and Adam. When the serpent says, if you eat from that tree, you will not die. You'll taste, it's good, it tastes great. You'll love it. Your eyes will be opened, and you will become like God. By eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, Adam and Eve are agreeing with the serpent's estimation of God's character and nature. They are calling him a liar by eating from that tree. We don't believe you. We don't trust you. And they are believing the lie of the serpent, which says that if you eat from that tree, you will be like God. It's an act of blasphemy by impugning the very character and nature of God, and it's an act of idolatry by setting themselves up to be as God himself. And so, Adam fails in his dominion over the creation to represent God faithfully to creation and to represent creation faithfully to its God. And what happens when Adam sins? Creation breaks. Why? Because he's its head. He's the leader. He is in charge. He is the ruler. He is responsible for it. His decisions are creation's decisions. And we are accountable to the decisions that Adam makes. Just as within our nation, we are accountable for the decisions that our leadership makes. If our prime minister declares war in another country, you are at war whether you want to be or not. Because the nation and its leadership have decided on your behalf that you are at war. Adam decided that he was at war with God, and we are all swept up in that battle. God didn't decide to be at war with Adam. Adam decided to be at war with God. And we are swept up in that fight. Now, here's the thing. I have said to you that the temptation is actually an act of blasphemy and it's an act of idolatry. It's not about behavior, it's about a heart attitude towards God, right? God has created all of the created order, and those two words are important. The created order, it's in a particular order. God first. He is ultimately in charge. He is the sovereign God of all creation. Humanity next. Dominion over what He has made. But we have to live out that dominion in a way that reflects the character and nature of God, to the rest of humanity, and to all of creation. What Adam did was subvert the whole order. He tipped the created order on its head. The decision that Adam made was a reality reordering decision. You follow that? It was reality reordering. He set himself up as the head over God. He sought to subvert the entire cosmic order as it had been established by God Himself, and set himself up at the pinnacle, at the top of the tree, top of the totem, the big I am. It's not just about behavior. It's a reality reordering decision. And all of reality is out of whack as a result of what Adam did. It's like the hamster wheel is no longer sitting true on its axis, on its axle. And so it wobbles. It's like the whole universe is now running on a flat tire. You ever tried to drive a car on a flat tire? You don't get to drive in straight lines when you've got a flat tire. You're holding on to that sucker. Well, that's what's gone on with the universe. Sin is not simply about bad moral decisions. Sin is a virus that has entered into the very programming of creation, and all of creation is corrupted as a result. Adam's decisions were reality reordering. Sin is a cosmic corruption of everything. That's much more than just behavior, isn't it? That's a much bigger problem. You see, we tend to focus on the behavior because the behavior is the easy stuff. Oh, if we could just get the behavior right, if we could just straighten ourselves up, then we're going to be okay. No, you're not, because you're still corrupted. Your very programming has been corrupted by a virus, and you can't fix that. You need the original programmer to step in and recode you. You see? If the problem is behavior, if the problem is a behavioral one, if it's simply morality and doing wrong things, then doing right things is the solution. What's the solution if there is a cosmic corruption and you are a part of the corrupted code and you suffer the stain of that corruption yourself? You can't fix that by behaving your way out of it. You can't fix it. You're broken. You can't fix it. You are broken. You can stick as much duct tape on that sucker as you like. At some point, it's just going to fly apart all over again. You see what we're dealing with here? You see why it can't be about your works. You cannot be saved by your works. And you simply cannot be saved by just believing. Something has to happen within us. There must be a change of the code. The very code that writes who and what we are and therefore produces what we do.